Hello and welcome to the Minnesota Department of Health Source Water Protection Grants Program Plan Implementation Grant Application Training. As you can see, I've already navigated to mdh.fluxx.io and I've logged in. To apply for funding, we go under Information, Apply for Funding. This page may look a little different when you log in from what is in the recording because we've continued to refine this Fluxx database since the video was made. Down here we have the different types of grant applications. Please choose carefully. All of the grants are available to click on and create an application in, but the grant period may not be open. So please always check the request for proposals to make sure you're in the right grant at the right time. So here we have the Apply for Implementation Grant button. Click on that. And here's the application itself. A few things to note. The name of your public water system and PWSID will show up here. And over in this right-hand corner is the unique application ID. And if this gets approved for a grant, it'll turn into a unique grant ID. That can be helpful to note if you decide to do a grant and a continuation of a project. You'll want to refer to that. Some other things of note, we have this ribbon here that will state the status of your application. Of course, this is a draft application, and as you move through the different stages, such as asking for collaboration, submitting for review, or if your grant is awarded or waitlisted, etc., that will all show up here. Coming down to the table of contents, you can jump to different parts of the application by clicking on the blue underlined text. I'll click on work items, and as you can see, it takes you down to the work items. Next, you'll want to go to your organization information and verify that this is the correct information. And the first question to answer is who is the MDH sanitarian, engineer planner, etc., or MRWA staff or delegated authority who you may have consulted with before submitting this application. It is not a required question, but if you put it in there, it can be helpful for MDH to know who you're working with. Now we get into the application questions. These are bold, so they are required. Is this a well sealing project? We're going to say no for this one. Does your grant activity pertain to a previous grant application? I will say yes, so I can demo that for you later. Are you a public water supplier? Say yes. There are a few exceptions where it's allowable to not be an active public water supplier, but those are not common. So please check with your technical assistants, MDH or MRWA staff if you have questions about that or you don't know whether you're active or not. Next, we'll get into the application information. So this is the project summary. I'm going to say we're going to work towards DNR certification of forestry practices. And you'll notice that it does have spell check. So if you spell something wrong, it will note that for you. Big help to me. Moving down, is this an application to install treatment for a contaminant? I say no. Are you currently under any of the following violations? I'm going to say no. To move these back and forth, you just click to highlight and use the arrows. I can move it back if that was the wrong one. There we have it. If you do have notice of violation or administrative penalty order going on, you can still apply. In most cases, you just need to add additional documentation, and that can be found either on the Source Water Protection Grants website or within the RFP. And some information is also available here in the grantee portal and the FAQs on the left-hand side. Is this grant application to support the completion of an item in the sanitary survey? We're going to say no. And that brings us to our work items. Now, again, the work items are going to be connected to what you put in the project summary. So in the project summary, I'm working towards DNR certification of forestry practices. And I said a little bit about why we're going to do that because there's a lot of private landowners and the woodlots could use some better management. And we're going to host a water festival, do a little education project as well. So I'm going to break that into 2 work items down here. To add work items, you click on the green plus sign. And here is the work items window. I do apologize that it is small and narrow and we can't make it any bigger. Since this is a plan implementation grant, we are going to select a work item type that is management strategies, because we're going to fulfill some items from our wellhead protection plan. So I said we were going to do a forestry project. So we will go down to the forestry items. And here we have one, a management strategy for applying for grant funds to develop a DNR certified and registered private forest management plan. We'll choose that. I will show you quickly that there is an option for other. If you don't see the exact measure that's in here, that's in your plan, if it doesn't match up exactly with these long measure or management strategies, you can pick other, and then you can type in whatever the number is on your management strategy. But again, we had a forestry 12004. Describe the work that's going to be done, develop aquifers. Okay. And is this work a continuation from a previous MDH grant? We're going to say yes, we said that earlier. Please identify the grant. So this is where those unique IDs I was talking about earlier up in the upper right-hand corner come in handy. It should auto-populate in this drop-down with all the grants, either applications or executed grants that you've ever done. You can choose from them. If you need to find that information on the unique ID, you can find that over here in the left-hand menu when this application is saved and closed. And what type of grant is this continuation of? I'm going to say it's another implementation grant. Will you be sealing oil? No. We're going to say we're going to allow natural forest processes to protect and improve water quality in the Twisma to protect. You can see that spell check also works in these text boxes. Now for estimated total cost of the work item, I'm going to say it's going to cost $12,000 to create these plans, and the amount requested for performing this work, we'll say $12,000. Save. And then our work item shows up. We're going to do a second work item for that education proposal, education project, again with a management strategy. And then management strategy option, we're going to look for our specific management strategy. We're going to incorporate drinking water education into existing local activities and outreach events. I'm going to add just a little detail about that. We will host a booth with water cycle tower demo for children at the county fair, perhaps. Is this continuation? We're going to say we haven't done this education project before, so this one is not a continuation, and we're not sealing a well. How will the outcome of this work item protect the source of drinking water? Provide youth and their parents with knowledge to make good land use decisions. And estimated total cost of this work item, say a little staff time and some materials, maybe $1,500. There we have our two work items. So now I'm going to save This does not save automatically, so please save often to preserve your work. And I do want these numbers to total up down here in this table. And sometimes you have to save twice to get that to work. I apologize for that. There we have it. All right. So the total cost is $13,500 and we are requesting $13,500. At the moment, the maximum we can actually ask for is $10,000 from MDH. So that's going to be different than the estimated total cost of the project. There we have it. And if there's any additional funding, I'm going to say I'm going to use my own financial resources if anything else is needed. And now we just need to attach documents. So we should attach our plan or strategy number, only provide the plan pages that are relevant to the strategy or measure number that you are basing your project off of. If you highlight them or circle them in some way, the actual measure that you're applying for, that is always of great help to the reviewers and much appreciated. So to upload that, you click on the little plus button. This upload window will show up and you can just hit add files, and I'm going to add a file and then hit upload and it will appear down here. We also need to do a conflict of interest form. That is a MDH-wide requirement. So if you click on this link, it will download for you. And you can see here's the conflict of interest form that you need to fill out. You can type this in online if you want to. These are all fillable except for the signature. So you can either print it out, sign it, and upload it, or you can fill out everything electronically except for the signature, upload it, and then when we at MDH review your application, we will send you an email with a link to DocuSign to finish signing that. So there's two ways to do that. Both are fine. So, but either way, you do need to attach that conflict of interest form, whether or not you have signed it. So you would do that down here. There's my conflict of interest. Open. Start upload. All right, if you have quotes or estimates from contractors giving a rough idea of how much your projects are going to cost, that is not required, but it is certainly encouraged. It does help your application to just be as thorough as possible and help the reviewers understand what it is you're looking for to do. So you can add that here. Any other corroborating documents can also be added. If you don't see a space for what you want to add up here, you can add also here in the grants document headline. Now we're going to save and close. And it says grant request was successfully updated. So again, note that it's in draft status. We could request collaboration, we could withdraw, or we could submit. I am going to submit this application, and you can see that it's grant number ending in 2093. So we'll just keep that in mind. Submit. Your grant request was successfully updated. Now you can see I can't edit it any longer. You can print it out if you want to. Otherwise, it's saved for you over here in submitted applications. And I'm not seeing it yet, but if I click this orange and white one update available button, give it a minute, there we have it. So that was grant ID ending in 2093, and it has now been received. And if we click on it, 2093, you will see that it has moved from draft to under review status received. You should also receive an email from MDH SWP saying that your grant has been received. Thank you very much for watching.